Hi all, welcome to Gradle stream. Today we have a special edition. We work on Google Summer of Code and we have midterm presentations. So how Google Summer of Code works, it's a 3-month-long project, well, with some deviations, etc. And now we're in the middle of this period, and we asked contributors working on Gradle projects to join us and to present their projects and to do some live demos. Thanks to everyone for joining us online, thanks to all contributors and mentors who joined us today. Okay, let me share my screen. Google Summer of Code is quite a big project, as I said, and yeah, today we are doing midterm project demos. Just to do a quick introduction, Google Summer of Code is probably one of the biggest open source mentorship programs. This year, it's 20th year of this program. And if you're interested, there is actually quite a lot of resources and success stories available on the main GSoC website. And this year is actually really big. So we have more than 1,200 participants, contributors, and 2,800 mentors. So in total, we have 4,000 people participating across the whole open source ecosystem, including all the contributors, mentors, and the reality even more because we have organization admins, we also have many stakeholders, we have community members who are looking in the projects and participating in them. So yes, Google Summer of Code is really big, and we thank everyone who invests their time and participates in these presentations. In these projects. One thing to always mention about Google Summer of Code, that the main purpose of this program is not delivering something in open source. Actually, it's quite opposite. It's about learning together. So all projects target new areas so that mentors, contributors, and everyone involved can study. Actually, at the Kotlin Conf, we did a quick interview together with Ksenia, who is org admin from the Kotlin Foundation. So if you're interested, check it out. If you talk about GSoC and Gradle, it's actually our second year. Last year, thanks to Donald, we had a project under the umbrella of the Kotlin Foundation, and it was focused on also focused on IDE integration, but that time it was mostly about Eclipse and Eclipse Buildship, which is a Gradle integration. It's a set plugins for IDE, and there was quite a lot of work on syntax highlighting, etc. It was a really nice experience, and we decided to continue this year too. And this is why this year we actually have 3 projects, and we operate under umbrellas of 2 foundations. So first of all, it's Kotlin Foundation, where we have 2 projects, and also the Eclipse Foundation, where we continue our work on Eclipse Buildship and also on gradle-build-server. So thanks to the foundations who actually make these projects possible. And going back to the teams, most likely you have already seen this slide. So this is a whole team peak in the beginning of GSoC. Actually, now we have quite a few more projects, stakeholders participating, but ultimately we have 3 projects. One is focused on support for Android projects in Gradle-build-server. Tanish is working on that together with Shank, together with Balint, who are also on the call, and also Reinhold and Donut, who also participate as mentors. The second project with the same mentoring team is DevX and language support in Buildship. That also includes a Gradle-build-server. And last but not least, it's a Checkstyle plugin and focus on new features and declarative syntax in this plugin. So we work on that together with Jay. So these are three projects we are going to present today. I'm not speaking about them too much because we will have the presentations. But if you want to learn more, there is plenty of resources available. For example, there is our GSoC page on the community side, so you can find all the information, project descriptions, and we hope that contributors will update these pages shortly after these presentations. Then there are communication channels. Actually, there is a lot of them. So if you're interested in about the Google Summer of Code in general, yeah, there is GSoC on the Gradle community Slack, GSoC on the Kotlin Foundation Slack, and also Eclipse Foundation uses Matrix. So if you want, please join. There are project-specific channels for gradle-build-server and Checkstyle. Both of them happen on the Gradle community Slack. And if you have any questions during the presentations, just use LinkedIn or YouTube comments. We do streaming. There is also GSoC channel on Slack. I will be monitoring all these channels during the presentations, and I will be able to raise any questions to the presenters so that we discuss them on the stream. Thanks everyone for your attention, and let's continue with the presentations. My understanding that we will start with Tanish. Tanish, are you ready?
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Tanish Ranjan, and
So yeah, please go
should I
ahead.
continue?
Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanish Ranjan. I'm a self-taught native Android developer. I have been developing Android applications for over 6 years now. If you would like to find more information about me and my projects, please visit my portfolio website. Recently, I have been working on a GSoC project under the Kotlin Foundation with mentorship from Gradle Incorporation. I'm excited to be here today to share my progress on the project so far. In my project, I'm focusing on bringing support for Android projects within the gradle-build-server. As of right now, gradle-build-server lacks the support for building Android applications. My project will enable developers to build and test their Android projects using the gradle-build-server. For those who don't know, gradle-build-server is a project by Microsoft. It utilizes build-server protocol to provide building of Gradle projects in a language-agnostic way. With this support for Android in Gradle Build Server, IDEs will be able to provide support for building Android projects without needing an in-depth understanding of Gradle. This could result in Android developers having a vast selection of development environments to choose from based on their requirements. Let's dive into the progress I have made during the first coding phase. The initial goal was to implement support for composite builds in Gradle Build Server. For those unfamiliar with composite builds, it is a Gradle feature in which we have a build that includes other builds, similar to a multi-project build, but each included build will be built in isolation. So I accomplished this goal in 2 pull requests. The first resolves a critical prerequisite for composite builds, where an object created inside the Gradle daemon will fail to downcast into the respective object. It was fixed in PR160. Then finally in PR154 we have the support for composite builds. The only challenging bit for me during the first phase was understanding the Gradle API and tooling API, as the knowledge of both were crucial for the implementation of composite builds. I managed to get through just fine, all thanks to the support of my mentors, who were always there to guide me in the right direction. Time for the demo. Here we have a sample composite build project where package 1 includes the build from package 2. For this, we are running an older version of the extension, Gradle for Java, version 3.14.1. This does not include the support for composite builds. Let's wait for the build to complete. And our build is complete, but we are getting an error. Here, as you can see, package2 class, which comes from package2 module, is not getting resolved because package2 wasn't included in the class path of package1. Now let's update the extension. This is the latest pre-release version. This includes the support for composite builds. Now that our build is complete, you can see that package2 class is getting referenced properly because it was included in the class path of package1, and with that we have the support for composite builds in Gradle-build-server. Throughout the first phase, I've gained valuable technical skills. These include JSON RPC and Build-server protocol, which are the foundation for communication between the client and the Gradle-build-server. Additionally, I have delved deeper into Gradle APIs and Gradle tooling APIs, which allowed me to retrieve information about the Gradle project programmatically. This was crucial for the implementation of composite builds. Furthermore, I have enhanced my Git expertise by learning advanced functionalities like branching strategies and merging techniques. This has improved my ability to collaborate effectively on the codebase. Finally, I've explored some of the testing frameworks like JUnit and Mockito to write more maintainable code for the project. I have two goals set for the next coding phase. First one being the detection of the current JDK to use for compilation of Java programs, and second will be resolution of class path for Android projects in Gradle-build-server. My approach for this will be to collaborate with the mentors just like before for their invaluable guidance, and also to inspect the code base of IDEs like IntelliJ IDEA and Android Studio. For the milestones, I aim to implement the detection of correct JDK in the next 2 weeks, after which I plan to spend the remaining time before the end term evaluation for the resolution of class paths of Android projects. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to my mentors for their invaluable guidance and support throughout the GSoC project. Their expertise has been instrumental in my progress so far. Thank you to the Kotlin Foundation for providing this incredible opportunity to contribute to a project like this one. I'm truly grateful for their support. Finally, I want to thank Google for sponsoring the Google Summer of Code program. This program offers a unique platform to learn, grow, and contribute to open source communities. I'm confident that adding support for Android projects to Gradle-build-server will significantly benefit the Android development community. I'm excited to continue working on this project and achieve the goals we have set out to accomplish. Thank you all.
Okay, I start. Hi everyone, I will now present the GSoC Checkstyle plugin midterm evaluation. First, a brief introduction. My name is Hongjie. I'm studying in software engineering at Northeastern University and graduated in June. I am currently working at Meituan in the search and recommendation department. My contact information is in the bottom left corner. You can contact me through these channels. Next is the project overview. The goal of this project is to separate the Checkstyle plugin from the Gradle project and make it an independent plugin. The new plugin will support more features that couldn't be directly declared in the build file before, making it more declarative. A brief summary of my work in the first phase. During the bonding period, I apologized for the delays due to the need to complete my graduation project. In the first coding phase, I separated the Checkstyle plugin from the Gradle project, completed unit tests and the integration tests. As for the status, I will now present a video demonstration of the current progress of my work.
To facilitate demonstration, I've pre-published the plugin to the local repository. The usage of the new plugin is similar to the original one. Firstly, configure plugin management in the settings file to fetch plugins from the local repository. Then, reference the plugin in the build file, specifying the version number. Using the Checkstyle extension and tasks, configure basic settings and core functionalities of Checkstyle. In the config file, specific rules are configured, and the file path can be specified through the Checkstyle extension. Finally, execute the build command in the console to view error messages and generate an HTML page. Opening the page reveals detailed errors, indicating which classes encountered specific issues. Corresponding reports will also be uploaded in the build directory. It's important to note that the new plugin uses Gradle 8.8 API calls, requiring Gradle version 8.8 or higher for use.
The main work I have done in the first coding phase. When separating the integration test, I found that the feature model was not exposed as a public API, so I spent a lot of effort separating the feature model. However, I found its implementation too complex, so I rewrote the integration test using the Spot framework, which took a lot of time. Currently, the project is not yet continuously integrated. To ensure the project is completed on time, the new features will be developed on the original plugin. Next, I will discuss my recent learning and the features I plan to complete in the second coding phase. The old version of the plugin only supports configuring a small subset of Checkstyle features in the build file. While I wanted to set more advanced features, such as cyclomatic complexity, I had to add them to the configuration file. As shown in the picture of the left, the syntax is relatively complex, which can lead to poor user experience. Therefore, I plan to add commonly used features to the Checkstyle extension. This way, users can configure them directly in the build file through the Checkstyle block, making it more convenient to use. And I had created an issue in advance. I had created an issue in advance. The expected outcome is to be able to configure cyclomatic complexity directly in the build file through the Checkstyle block rather than in the configuration file, which is more complex and less intuitive, as it involves understanding and modifying the XML structure of the configuration file.
So basically, this issue is what you want to focus in the next coding phase, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
From my experience, what I want to say more advanced features, I need to modify the configuration file, which is not user-friendly. And this process is more complex and less intuitive, as it involves understanding and modifying the XML structure of the configuration file. And this improvement aligns with the goal of making the plugin more declarative.
For this particular feature, it definitely has some merits. To be honest, so as a mentor, what I would say, the main use case for that would be actually CI/CD systems, because it's not just supporting the file itself. For that, to be honest, the value of having definition on the Gradle side is limited, because the main purpose of this definition is actually IDEs, etc. And until IDEs learn how to read Gradle definitions, it will be quite complicated. But on the other hand, when you have, let's say, advanced build, when you have Gradle definitions to have deeper Checkstyle or deeper reporting, reaction, or have some additional actions which you define in your settings file and enable just for CI, this is where override for such configs would be useful. Though whether it works in all cases, I'm not sure, but I can definitely see some application basically for customization of the main definition file.
I mean, definitely the DSL looks more concise, and I think nowadays people have a certain connotation when they need to write XML. So this is definitely a step up in usability.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is a GitHub issue on Checkstyle for supporting YAML files, but whether YAML makes the life better, it's a long and separate discussion. But I definitely agree that there was another way to do some definitions in a declarative way. One of the things that might have caused some confusion, this project, it might be related to declarative Gradle, but you can do declarative Gradle definitions without declarative Gradle.
I would have a question. Checkstyle is an expandable system. You can expand it with different models, and in this case, how this dynamic configuration would work, because you can plug different basically models onto it. So I would expect that the DSL needs to know about those beforehand. So this dynamism is handled, or currently it's a fixed set of it's a fixed DSL of elements what we currently could handle.
Okay. My initial idea is to add a property such as the psychometric complexity to the Checkstyle extension. And then we can read the properties through the Checkstyle task and write its value into the Checkstyle configuration file.
This is static. So we know that there is a cyclomatic complexity field. So what you are saying is that currently you are focusing on the fixed parts, the known parts of Checkstyle, and you basically didn't consider the plugin use cases, because already the default Checkstyle plugins are like, there is a lot of rules what you can use already there.
Yeah, that's definitely a case. There is quite a lot. For me, the concern about fixed rules is actually how far we go. Because if it's just a cyclomatic complexity definition as a proof of concept, that again, it doesn't provide much added value. If you could support significant subset of Checkstyle features, then of course
Yes.
it is way different.
Yes, I will support some common features, not just one feature.
Yeah, and for the syntax, how would it look like for multi-property files? Because here you provide an example where model for cyclomatic complexity actually has only one parameter, max, which is 10. and basically you collapse this to a single line definition. But let's say there is a model that has two properties. How would you expect it to look like?
I think I will use different names such as the mass cyclomatic complexity and meaning cyclomatic complexity.
So basically you will have manual resolution. So if there are multiple parameters, for each you would create a new top-level property. So like you did with cyclomatic complexity, then you will be introducing more ones. That might work, though it basically implies that you will be doing a lot of things manually, because it's really difficult to define these rules at the global scale. So for example, here, basically, you omit checker, you omit tree walker, and instead of that, you basically just map to model name and one of its properties. Of course, it's not clear how it would work if multiple checkers have similar configuration. I'm sure it's a case for cyclomatic complexity too, that you can actually have multiple definitions of that in different models. So yeah, while this approach might provide a good end user experience for particular features, if you want to support a big set of Checkstyle capabilities, it might be quite complicated to implement and maintain it. So yeah, definitely I think a prototype would be nice.
Yeah, and not only like the case for multiple properties, and some module in Checkstyle that can allow without any properties in its raw file. So think about how to handle this case as well.
Okay, thank you.
There are some successful examples of configuring Checkstyle plugin. Well, I remember how Jenkins static analysis plugin does it, because it also has quite a lot of configurations and mapping. So it might be one of the sources for inspiration for UJ. And I am pretty sure that other systems also do some Checkstyle management. And for detaching of the plugin, so what are your key learnings?
Yeah, I learned a lot in the first phase, including how to define plugins and how to conduct automated testing, how to implement continuous integration, and how to manage the code repositories. These are the things I learned in the first phase.
And if you want to see the more information and all these updates, let me just show where to find them. So here, we have the website with all the links. We will publish the videos, including ones that are uploaded asynchronously there. Also, there are GSoC channels where you will be able to find all this information. If you have any questions to GSoC contributors, please comment there. And hopefully we'll have all the updates for this phase within the next few days. So what happens right now? So today is the last day for project evaluations. So all the teams will review the project statuses and basically decide how we proceed. There are multiple options for that. So the projects might be passed or failed. Regardless of whether they passed or failed, they might continue in some capacity. For example, by mentors, working with contributors, even with students, because GSoC itself is a quite a rigid program in terms of expectations. And if it works or not, there might be different directions. But we will share all the feedback with contributors tonight. And regardless of the results, thanks everyone for working on the projects, for sharing the results with us, and looking forward to that. For the next mentorship programs, I think we will have something not related to documentation. It's just a spoiler alert. Stay tuned for more information. And also in October, we will have Hacktoberfest. So Hacktoberfest is slightly different from Google Summer of Code, but we will definitely have some initiatives happening there. So if you're interested to learn to participate, there is, I believe, some very basic page here. Oh, not even a page. But it says that we plan to participate in Hacktoberfest, and you're interested. There is a Gradle community newsletter which takes place every month, and I believe in September we will have an announcement saying what happens with Hacktoberfest and Gradle, what are the SWOC and opportunities we provide, what are the direction areas, and actually what are the mentorship opportunities available as a part of this program. So this is something to consider, and I guess see you in October.